USA. Thought we just have a general chat in general. About tariffs and that sort of thing. I actually know a fair amount about that stuff. I've been in business for 45 years. You know, you guys know me, of course, as a real estate investor and real estate mentoring, which is primarily what I do. But anyways, it wasn't that long ago that I had a face-to-face with Trump, and that was in, like, I think November 2015. And I was at a, you know, obviously a GOP kind of fundraising event, and but I got to talk to Trump just like I'm talking to you, face to face. Smart guy, you know. Just when he starts talking to you, he listens to every single word. He takes it all in. It's pretty interesting. Also met Rudy Giuliani in that meeting. There was, I mean, I say a meeting. He was speaking. He was speaking at. He was at like an auditorium in. I didn't go to the auditorium. I didn't have to. If you're like a VIP donor, you know, you'll see them before they go on stage, that sort of thing. And so that was the conditions that I was in. I was a big Trump supporter, and one of the reasons I wanted to talk to Trump was about tariffs. You know, one of the companies I own, you know, you just get killed on tariffs, and I'm not talking about. I'm talking about their tariffs going that way. You know, I had some movie making equipment, some things that you know I've designed that came through my company, and basically China would order something, copy it. India would order it, copy it, and then even if you had it patented, it'd be kind of difficult to deal with. Anyways, we're gonna get into that, and anyways, if you just got here. Please hang out, and we'll talk about some real estate too.
It's the best thing I ever did.
All right. So, anyways, regarding tariffs, I don't know, you know how, you know, the people that I hear talking about them that are negative seem to know the least about them. In fact, who's the help me out here watching, who's the whiteboard guy? Who's the whiteboard guy that talks? You know what I'm talking about? What's his name? No, whiteboard investor guy. Asian guy. Who's it? Clear value tax. Clear value. Let's look up clear value. So, clear value, you know, he and I listen. I think he's a fine young man, but when he's talking about these tariffs, there's a lot he doesn't know. And
I want to give you an update on the Trump tariffs against Canada and Mexico. This is as of Monday, February 3rd. Okay, so if you've been following my channel, then you probably already know my predictions that I gave last year. I said that the 10% universal tariffs, they're not going to happen. The 25% tariffs against Mexico and Canada most likely will not happen. Rather,
yeah, it was a bargaining tool, and he scared the shit out of them. But I want to get to this part, and I don't even know if I'm going to be able to find it. But let's see. But what I want to get at is, let's see if I can find
Mexican president said this, and that. It just simply wasn't true. The Mexican president didn't say that. But this time, what President Trump is saying is true. Okay, so here's what the Mexican president said on X. Tuvimos una buena conversación within the USA back.
it's kind of his conclusions is what I'd really disagree with.
Morning. They're both scheduled to speak again this afternoon, 3 p.m. Eastern time. So yes, there is the possibility that the same thing is going to happen. You know, what happened with Mexico, that there's going to be a postponement of the tariffs. So
Well, anyhow, let's talk about it for a minute. So let me just tell you about tariffs. If you've ever been to China, and I've been to there a few times, Taiwan, I mean, you are talking about an enormous manufacturing facility like nothing else. I've been in million square foot buildings that are multi-floor buildings that you just can't believe. I've been in a sea of sewing machines, like where there's probably 300 people, each with a sewing machine. and a pile of bags, taller than they are behind them, like a pyramid, and they're making, and I'm walking through there. When you tour plants in China, by the way, they treat you like a VIP. They know that you're going to bring them business. You're going to order, so they kind of romance you. They take you to dinner and lunch and show you around, and send a car for you, all that great stuff. And it's a great experience, and it's fun. And it's really amazing, and really amazing is just how cheap they can build stuff. It's unbelievable. And so and I could do it on a whiteboard here. Let me get the whiteboard going here. And anybody here want to chime in? Go ahead and chime on in. My son will read the comments to me if there is any. And let me see the big whiteboard. Do we have the big whiteboard, son? Oh, there we go. All right, so let me head over to the whiteboard for a second. All right. So let me tell you my experience with the tariffs. First of all, I'll give you an example. So I've got, let's just say I sell tripods, right? Tripods. Okay. So let's just say I've been buying USA tripods for years, right? And they're $200. Okay. Then China comes along, and they're a lot smarter than they used to be. One of the sayings they say in Taiwan, they say, Japan quality, China prices. So that's what that's their angle. They say, we can build it because Japan has an excellent reputation for precision, quality machines. They're fantastic. They really are amazing. And where China, it's kind of garbagey. It's not good. It's not precise. They'll copy a product, and they'll even copy the flaws because they think they're just copying it exact. There's nobody even doing any engineering. But so Taiwan will say, yeah, we can build it as, like good like Japan, but cheap like China, which is not true. They're in between for sure. But it's usually worth it. I have a lot of respect for the Taiwanese. They really are. It's an amazing place. My favorite place to go in that part of the area when it comes to looking for things, value and manufacturing and that sort of thing. But so back to my thing. Say I'm buying and selling tripods, right? So USA, I can buy them for $200 and resell them for more. So then China comes along, and they'll say, hey, look, we're going to sell you the same thing, except we're going to sell it to you for $180, right? Okay? So basically 10% off of what I have to pay for it, okay? Well, then guess what? Taiwan, or another Chinese company. This is kind of how it goes, by the way. So Taiwan comes along and says, hey, Tom, we're going to sell you same tripod. And believe me, they are the same, okay? They're the same. And they go, we're going to sell it to you for $160. And so it's like, hey, all right. And then that sounds pretty good. Well, then China comes back and they say, don't worry, we take the price down to $140. Okay? All right? And so this is how it goes. In other words, what people don't understand is when the tariffs, if Trump puts 10% tariffs on China, it's peanuts. He can put 25% on tariffs. Isn't even going to hurt a thing because they are smart enough that they have the delta in there to lower the prices as much as they have to because they cut each other's throats all the time. And so you can see this $200 tripod, and then one day, all of a sudden, they're calling you back up, and they're saying, hey, you know what, we're going to sell you 1,000 pieces or 100 pieces or whatever it is. And they're saying, we'll sell you for $100. Okay? So 50% off. Okay? You have to understand that those are the margins that are there. And so what I was talking about with, what's the name again? Clear value text. I'm going to do a better video on this too, but this is the happy hour, so we're playing. Anyways, so then again, China comes back, and now it's $100. So just because they raised the tariff, they could, like I say, they put 25% on a product. It means nothing because they cut each other's. So China has evolved in a very, very big way. The quality is going up some, not everywhere, but some. But the other thing is they're smart enough to charge as much as they can possibly get away with to take the business away from the USA or whatever their competitor, or maybe even another, or even a Taiwan competitor. They know that. And so understand that there's all kinds of room. There's all kinds of room. And, this stupid stuff that you see, the examples that you'll see people make on, let me get rid of that. On tariffs, like, Chuck Schumer with the, oh, shit, son. Okay, good. Okay, thank you. Hey, Liam, there's something else wrong. Everybody else can hear. Thank you. Anyways, so again, I'll do a better video on this, but I'm telling you, somebody text Liam. Unless somebody else can't hear you, let me know. But so the thing, and like I say, on some of the produce and that sort of thing, it's so frustrating. I'm telling you, to have a product exactly copied. And it's almost frightening when you're a manufacturer and China orders a product from you to send over to them. They're not ordering because they need the product. They're usually ordering because they're going to copy the product, right? They want to get it. They want to get it. They're going to dissect it, take it apart, and they're going to copy it, and they're going to be selling it to the same people that you've been selling it to for the last 10 years. And it's just the beginning of the end of that particular product line that you're going to have, because they're going to wipe you off the map. So anybody got any strong feelings out there about that? What do you say? And somebody besides Liam, let me know if you can hear. All right. And we have a call in, by the way. You can call in. Let's see. Also, by the way, we don't have the call in, son. What are we going to do about that? You can call in, by the way, and 424-866-7929. Like I say, this is just kind of a casual. Yeah, Liam, I agree. In general, he is a sharp guy, but there's a lot he doesn't know about tariffs. He doesn't understand the margins. In fact, maybe you have to be a retailer. Maybe you have to be a retailer or somebody in business, a manufacturer. Like I say, I've been back there many times, and I've bought millions of dollars in products from China for another company. Brian Kim's his name. Anyways, let's see if I can put him back behind me. This guy, Brian Kim. Let's go ahead and let him talk some more.
We'll see. Okay, now what can be motivating President Trump to back off these 25% tariffs against Canada and Mexico? So simply, it's the economic damage. So this morning, before the tariff pause with Mexico was announced, the stock market...
Yeah, so this is where I'm going to argue with him. This is nothing. This is nothing. He's misreading the market. And besides, it just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. You got to remember, everybody understands that, he's going to tariff them. And it's going to be not as severe as 25%. But I fully believe that if they did do a retaliatory tariff, he would bump them up. You got to understand, we are a giant customer. I mean, we are an enormous amount of wealth to so many countries, and you don't piss off your customers, right? And so otherwise you lose the business.
Market was going down hard. And honestly, this would have just been the start. And as you know, one of the primary ways that Trump measures his success is the performance of the stock markets. So I'm sure that President Trump was tracking the...
Yeah, but he doesn't do it off a one-day sample.
Pre-market trading, and he knew that this was not good. And another reason to back off tariffs was because of inflation. So tariffs of this magnitude would elevate inflation substantially. So Trump even said that there's going to be short-term disruption. And of course, one of Trump's promises is to lower inflation. Now, what does President Trump want from Canada? I mean, besides what's being floated out in the public, the fentanyl drug war, illegal border crossing, trade imbalances, besides that, it could be more about business practices with Canada. For example, Trump said, Canada doesn't even allow US banks to open or do business there. What's
Of course it is. It's about opening their markets up. 100%. It's about opening the markets. But more than anything, it's about closing the border. You know, think about that. I mean, Mexico, as American, I'm fucking angry. You know, you've got them not policing the border. They're letting, people come into the country. They don't care. There's no downside for them, right? In fact, they're getting rich by closing their eyes and letting people, the cartel, bringing people into the country has become far more valuable or far more profitable than drugs. And all of a sudden, now they're going to snap to and do something about it. But you can understand the Mexican president, she's in deep shit because, half the country's corrupt that's in politics there anyways, or it would appear so. And so they're kind of stuck, they're scared to death of the cartel themselves. And so, you know what I mean? They're really in a tough spot, right? She is in a tough spot. There's no question about it. But so, it's it'll be interesting to see how things shake out. But maybe you can find that Schumer. I don't know if you guys saw Schumer and his avocado. So stupid. Virgil wrote, "Hey, Tom, tariffs are good. It will be the start of the destruction of the IRS and the Fed. Hence, external revenue service." I like that, Virgil. I appreciate that a lot. Yeah, the external revenue service. How awesome is that, right? Let's explore this a little bit. For one thing, let's look up Chuck Schumer. Somebody's probably, I'm spelling avocados wrong probably, but let's see. Yeah, Chuck Schumer and the avocados.
Beer.
Make sure you guys can hear this. So listen to this. So silly.
And guac, composed of avocado and lime. All of those much of those come from Mexico. Prices on these things are going to go up. The last thing people need
So listen to that. Eggs have tripled, and he's worried about the price going up a little bit more on beer and avocados. Something that we have plenty of actually in California. Anyways, but again, this is the best they can do is worrying about beer, which we got beer everywhere, made in the USA. So again, these are the lamest examples I'd ever seen of being afraid of tariffs. And the thing is, since when has this guy been worried about the cost of groceries? It certainly hasn't been in the last 4 years. That's obvious.
right now is their prices going up. $1,200 a year, $830 a year. It is awful. And so...
Yeah, anyways, you guys know, if you've watched any amount of news, you know who this guy is. What else you want to look at, Virgil? Anything? I'm not sure where I come down on tariffs, says Liam. If what Trump wants, I can live with. Chuck may be leaving shortly. I think he left. He's been gone for a long time. When it comes to being an advocate for the people, I think he's the worst. Again, like I say, it's this selective outrage. But I don't know. I look at everybody's been touched, by this, by what's going on with stuff coming over the border, And I actually lost a nephew in the last year to fentanyl, and I got a friend, same thing, and it's just the drugs are just everywhere. So, anyways, what else you guys want to talk about? What else you want to see? But anyhow, primarily on the tariffs, what I'll just tell you is they're when it comes to products coming in, it's almost cost nothing. If you remember, if you've been in business any amount of time, when the internet first came out with eBay particularly, this is how it works. You can have, or how it was working, I don't even want to say an exact date, but more than 10 years ago. You could bring millions of dollars of equipment, whatever, just anything China makes. Bring it into your warehouse in the USA. Then you could sell it over the internet. Okay? No tax on the stuff, no tariffs, no tax on the stuff, or almost nothing. It's imperceptible. It's so little on that stuff coming in from China. Have it go straight into your warehouse, and then you can sell it out of your warehouse over state lines, no taxes at all, right? For a long time, you could sell anything and everything tax-free over the internet. Eventually, the government finally, squashed it and made sure that eBay, everything basically had to get taxed. And so but before that, that was a huge hole. So, but again, you were so aware of, even after when you had to start charging sales tax, when you started shipping stuff out to different people in different countries, or I'm sorry, in different cities or in different states in the USA, you're having to charge them, tax. But you're still well aware that everything coming in from China, no tax at all. Now, when you're an importer-exporter, like I am and have been for many, many years, when I send something that way and the customer says, I can't buy it because they're putting a 28% tariff on the product. So they're making my $10,000 product cost nearly $13,000. And then what does China or some of the other outfits or the other countries do? They get a read, they get a measure on what's importing, what's coming into their country, and then they identify it as something that they want to copy. So then they copy it. Okay, so imagine how you feel. You got a $10,000 product, you're selling it, you're selling it to the countries that are fair with you, you're selling it all over the USA, and then all of a sudden, China copies your product, and then you can't even sell it into China because they're going to put a 28% or 25% tariff on it. But they copy your product, they bring it over here, and there's no tax on it. So they can make it for 25% less, not charge any tax on it. So all of a sudden you see your brainchild, your product, your baby being sold in the USA for 30% less than you can sell it for. Then you can even sell it for, or or at your cost to build. It's a really, really tough thing to deal with. But anyways, I just want to give some perspective on that a lot of people don't catch. And what else you want to talk about here? Let's see. All right. All right, let's go back to, I don't know. All right, any strong feelings out there on tariffs? Anybody want to call in? There's the phone number, 424-866-7929. Off that subject, actually, too, we can talk about some other things. I'm going to start having, I'm kind of going to do a series on just on all the deals that I've done in the last 40 years. A lot of great lessons in there, and I'll start sharing those. I share them primarily with my students, but there's all kinds of stuff that from buying property that's under an overpass. There's just so many different stories. In fact, let me go back to my background here. Hey, son, where's my sign? How do I put that back up? Nope. Your sign should be like the backdrop. I'm getting the green screen because I got this. The whiteboard. No. Can't come around here and get it up if you want. All right, bear with me. Originally. There's a nail gun here over to one side of me, over here. And, all these signs you see, they're significant to me. That you can see that license plate, my personalized license plate in California from back in 1984, when I was probably 22 years old. And then like this neighborhood meeting sign, just so you see that that's me. I mean, I've had huge fights with neighborhoods over stupid bullshit. You get somebody that wants to be the sheriff of the neighborhood. He's bored, he's retired, doesn't have shit to do. Sometimes he has a terrible wife, can't stand to be inside the house, so he walks the neighborhood, decides, hey, I know, let's have an HOA, and I can pester everybody that the grass is too tall, or they've got an RV in their driveway. And not that I don't understand that there's a point and reason for some of that stuff, but some people go overboard with it, and it's just ridiculous. But the for sale by owner signs, I see the pickup here sign. You know, that's from a drive-through off a property. I took that off of where, you know, a drive-through, you know, for pick up food, that sort of thing. The private property keep-out sign, that has special significance. First property I ever lost money on. Paid $320,000 for 80 acres with a buddy of mine. We each put $50,000 down, and market turned terribly down, and we lost it. But anyways, but, you know, back to, oh, that was the backdrop here. Sorry. Get a happy hour, and I'll try to put Trump back in there if I can. Anyways, oh, now I'm lost, boys. All right. Anyways, I'll kill it here. Thanks for watching. See you later.
And listen, time is on a mission to eliminate all the snake oil and the fake gurus that fake y'all. He'll show you how to build an empire, starting with nothing but a desire. All you really need is a good mentor, not a used car bullshit. With time, you'll learn to crush it. Investing like Warren Buffett. With real estate, you cannot procrastinate. Everyone who hesitates is left at the starting gate. Hey, yo, so don't delay and join today. The mentorship and flip anything. USA, go.